Hi, I'm Todd Heitkamp, the owner of Dakota Angler here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, with this week's 2-minute fishing report. Well, folks, just as we thought it couldn't get any hotter, it definitely did this past week, and definitely the dog days of summer have fully entrenched the area. But it really comes down to a question of whether or not the fish are biting or the fishermen are just not choosing to go out. Because guys that went out and really braved the heat came away with some really nice fish. So keep that in mind as you approach this next week and weekend. Some of the lakes that produced some nice fish this past week up in the Northeast included Bitter. A lot of, I'd say quality fish came out of Bitter. Still got to sort through the smaller fish, but that really seems to pick up this past week. Waubay, Opitz, Indian Springs all did fairly well there. Again, in Indian Springs, it seems like shallower water has worked out best. And then also both dry lakes, and then Enemy Swim all produced some decent sized walleye this past week. Down the southeastern part of the state, lakes included Ponset, Dry Lake by Willow Lake. Again, then be careful of the shallow spots around there, the rock piles on the road. Thompson, West Oakwood, 81 ponds produced some fish. Now it's getting a little bit more difficult to get into the ponds because of the weed growth. And then Sinai, Madison, and Vermilion all produced a few walleyes as well. Now, what have guys been doing to catch the walleyes? A lot of guys have resorted to pulling plugs looking for those active fish. Also, guys are pulling bottom bounces with spinners, using live bait, either crawlers or minnows. Leeches yet, we still have leeches for maybe a week or so, and then that's going to be it. But that's been the trick to produce that walleye bite. In the Missouri River, a lot of guys have had success really, really deep. Anywhere 30, 40, even 50 feet of water, guys are finding the fish. And then as far as the crappie bite is concerned, lakes around here have been producing a few crappies, include Thompson, Sinai, Pickerel, Reeds, and then also Madison. And then the perch bite. A lot of guys have been asking about the perch bite. It's been kind of, let's say, limited this past week, but guys are still coming away with a few at Waubay, Big Stone, Thompson, Dry Lake by Willow Lake, and then also Ponset, and then Madison as well. What have guys been using for the perch? Mainly a lot of drop chain lures, as I said last week. The Haley or the Pilkey works well. And then for the crappie, it's been the Shiny Heiny and smaller mimic minnows. In this week's version of Todd's Tackle Tips, we're not going to really talk about anything per se as far as techniques are concerned, but we're going to talk about what's new. Rapala has come out with a whole line of new plugs and lures. Just announced this past week, and we have them here at the store delivered last week, so make sure you stop on by and take a look. And we're going to talk about them today. One of the first ones, in the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about swim jigs. VMC came out with a spin jig. These things are really been proved to be really great the past week, honestly, with guys that stop by to pick them up. It has a blade attached to it, so it will work great with your swim baits. Highly recommend the spin jig if you're planning on using any swim baits anytime soon. Something else, the flat jig. It kind of looks like a jigging Rapala, and a lot of guys have been using them. Fantastic and fast water in the river, also just snapping it along the bottom. Take a look at the flat jig, again, new from Rapala. Two other new plugs that we want to talk about, not necessarily new per se as far as the line is concerned, but new colors of shad wraps, new color of crawdads. These have really surprised me on how great these crawdads look. When I first saw them, when I ordered them a couple of months ago, I wasn't too impressed with them. But when I saw them firsthand, folks, they are really a great looking bait. Stop on by and take a look at the new crawdad color shad wraps by Rapala. The other line of plugs that I'm really excited about is the Rapala Shad Dancer. These really have been taking the market by storm. Launched down at ICAST a week and a half ago. These lures have been really working well. A lot of guys have been using them and they're coming in for more and more day by day. They have a great tail action to it, so it's a great casting bait. Also, you can pull it as well, but again, a great action to the bait. The Rapala Shad Dancer comes in a number of different colors, so make sure you stop on by here at the store and take a look at all what's new from the line of Rapala. Plus, we have a great line of clothing, as you can see behind me, so stop on by here at the store and take a look at what's new from Rapala. Now it's time to take a look at a few photos that you sent in to me this past week. And remember, folks, if you'd like your photo included in next week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report, please send it to me. Send it to todd@dakotaangler.com or post it to our Facebook wall. And if I use your photo, your name will be entered into a monthly drawing for a $25 gift certificate. Well, as usual, folks, I have a few things I want to leave you with before we end this week's report. First off, if you're on social media and you haven't liked our Facebook page yet, please do so. We've been giving away a lot of free tackle, so make sure you go on Facebook, like our page. It's a great way to stay up to date on not only the free giveaways, but everything else that's happening here at the store. Second of all, is it too early to mention the Dakota Angler Ice Institute? I don't think so, especially after this past week. November 4th and 5th. Friday, Saturday, here in Sioux Falls, the Dakota Angler Ice Institute will once again be held. Great speakers, great vendors, great food. Mark your calendars, November 4th and 5th. And then finally, folks, make sure you stop on by and check out all the sales that we have going on here at the store. Rods and combos, 20% off now, so stop on by and take a look at the great sales that we have ongoing here at the store. Well, folks, that's this week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report. For Dakota Angler, I'm the owner, Todd Heitkamp, and as we say around here, fish on! We'll see you next week, and again, folks, thanks for watching.